Well, hello, Amarillo. Before I begin, I'll let you know I'm here to speak as an individual, not as a representative of any organization. I'm not here as Stand Up America Now. I'm not here as Dove World Outreach Center. The issues, the views I express, they're issues I stand on. They're issues that I believe in. This is not a 501c3 speaking to you. This is Wayne Sapp. Somebody that one day is going to have to stand accountable to God for the things he's done, the things he has not done. And I personally give my endorsement to David Grisham. One thing, as I look out, I see the few people that are here. I see all the colorful people that are out there. I see this event here has brought out all kinds of people, even fictional characters. We got the Easter Bunny running around. I see Santa Claus, which better be careful. The smaller version of him has already not made it once. Well, you know what? I don't see how. Where's the Christians? Where are the pastors? Raise your hand if you're a Christian. Raise your hand if you call yourself a Christian. Let's put it that way. Is that all Amarillo's got? Is that it? No wonder why homosexuality and abortion and Islam's taken over. If this is it, if this is the church, this is pathetic. Where's the church? I mean, that's a good question. Where is the church? They're hiding. They're hiding from the colorful people over there. They're hiding from the news cameras over here. They're hiding from accountability. They somehow have convinced themselves if they stay in hiding behind religious excuses, behind church walls, behind political correctness, if they stay in hiding, then everything somehow will be okay. It will work itself out. I mean, it won't work itself out. The church does not come out of hiding. Things are not going to get better. They're going to get worse. We're going to wind up seeing, well, what Jesus told us to pray, that His kingdom come on earth as it is in heaven. The church has gone into hiding. They're not doing that job. We're seeing the kingdom of the devil. We're seeing hell on earth. We see that through Islam. We see hell on earth through homosexuality and through the thing that's called murder that has a label called abortion. The church is hiding because the pastors are cowards. Cowards. Well, they got no problem standing up against other Christians. Pastors have no problem standing up against certain churches. But where are the pastors when they're supposed to stand up for the things they're supposed to stand up for? The gospel. Where's the pastors then? Where are the pastors to give that example to the people that they're leading, to their so-called flock? Where are the pastors when it comes to abortion? Where are the pastors when it comes to that abomination called homosexuality? Where are the pastors? Huh? They're hiding. See, they forgot what the Bible tells us. The Bible in James 4:7 says, submit yourself then to God. The pastors have submitted themselves to the world. Pastors have submitted themselves to political correctness, to popular opinion. You see that in church websites. We want your vote. Tell us how you feel on this issue so we know what to preach. That is a bunch of garbage. They can't preach the gospel. They need to be thrown out of the church. a poll on a website, or to ask your church, how do you feel? I mean, where is the church today? I'll tell you what, I won't give you my opinion on that. I'll give you a fact. I'm going to pick on the Methodist right now. If you're Methodist out there, you need to find out where your church, where your pastor stands on this. Maybe your days of being a Methodist, you're going to have to choose. You're going to be a Methodist, you're going to be a Christian. Methodist pastor in Gainesville, Florida. Met with Dr. Jones and myself, talking over a few issues. And he says, wait a minute. You need to understand, we the Methodists, we have not accepted homosexuality into the church. Every 4 years, we vote on it. They vote on whether or not homosexuality is accepted in Christianity. Where do we get to vote? That is not God. That is not God. That is far from God. God has already made His decision on homosexuality, on adultery, on fornication. They shall not inherit the kingdom of heaven. We don't vote on what God said. We repeat what God said. We preach what God says. You make the decision on what direction you will go. But we don't vote, is it accepted or not in God's kingdom? He's already said He doesn't accept it. But the problem is that the pastors, they don't resist the devil. It says, submit yourself then to God and resist the devil and he will flee from you. Pastors don't resist the devil. They don't resist the devil. They don't resist that world spirit. They want to be popular. Every pastor, I don't know why, wants to be another Joel Osteen. They want to smile all the time, have a nice big church, get their handshake, kiss the baby, tell everybody everything's going to be all right. God will do it. God's already done all He's going to do. It's our job to do something. It's our job to follow the instructions the Bible has given us and to resist. We are to resist that world spirit. We are to resist murder in the form of abortion. We are to resist that perverted lifestyle of homosexuality. We are to resist false religions like Islam. But we don't resist anymore. Pastors bow down, they cower down, they don't stand up, they hide behind political correctness, behind fear, behind what is popular. So they don't want to lose their congregation. Because if the congregation goes, then the money goes. If the money goes, then how are they going to pay their bills? Well, I guess they never really trusted in God that they were supposed to be that church after all. Resist. We've forgotten what resistance is. That's our whole purpose of being here. Hopefully we can wake that part of America up again. A little over 200 years ago, we knew what resistance was. We stood up against tyranny. We stood up against oppression. And we took a stand for what was right. And we called ourselves Americans. Where is that today? Where in the church can we actually even grab hold of that today? Nowadays, if you resist, it's considered hate. If you resist and you tell them homosexuality is rejected by God, you're considered a hate preacher. If you tell somebody what your opinion is, what the Bible says, it's considered hate. No longer an opinion. It's no longer free speech. It's no longer trying to do what the Bible tells us as men of God, trying to lead others in the right direction. It's still your decision. You get to decide life or death. If you people over there, if you've accepted homosexuality, no matter what you're preached to, no matter what you're told, that's your decision. You've accepted that. But it's death. Pastors hiding from the truth. Pastors trying to be accepted in light. It's not going to get them into heaven. And it's misleading the church. Pastors are no longer resistant to the devil in the world. But they're quick to resist the church. They're quick to resist the gospel. I mean, every week over 25,000 babies are murdered, slaughtered, every week just in America. And we don't even think about it. It does not even impact our day. It does not change our way of life. We go to the restaurant. We have our family gatherings. We do our thing. Oh well, 25 babies have been murdered this week. Oh well. Do we honestly believe that God is not going to somehow hold us accountable if we keep our mouth shut? If we do not preach to the homosexual, if we do not preach against abortion, if we do not preach against false doctrines, false religions like Islam, do you honestly believe that the Bible is lying to you? In Ezekiel 33. Ezekiel 33 says, Son of man, I have made you a watchman for the people of Israel. So hear the word I speak and give them warning from me. When I say to the wicked, you wicked person, you will surely die, and you do not speak outside to dissuade them from their ways, that wicked person will die. They will die for their sin, and I will hold you accountable for their blood. But if you warn the wicked person to turn from their ways and they do not turn, they still will die for their sin, though you yourself will be saved. We have to preach the gospel whether you like it or don't like it. We have to preach the gospel. We have to give the truth, whether it's popular or it's hated. We have to. Not because I'm accountable to you. Not because I'm accountable to you. I'm accountable to God. And you, whether you want to believe it, accept it or not, you're accountable to God too. One day every knee shall bow. We are all going to have to give account for the things we did and the things we did not do. We're all called to stand up. We're all called to raise our voice. We're all called to give a warning. We're all called to give the truth. But where is that America where we'll speak again? Where is the America that will reach out to the lost? Not when it makes us look good. Not when we get the pat on the back. Not when it's going to be in all the news and all the church leaders will say, what a great job. What about when it's not the popular message? You know, we accept it as truth and fact. If you call yourself a Christian, we accept it as truth and fact, and that's just the way it is. We don't know any other way. But you know, when Jesus stood up and he preached his message, it was considered hate speech. It was considered blasphemy. He was killed for preaching the truth. He was mocked and ridiculed for trying to give people the way to the Father. So just because it's not popular, just because it doesn't give you goosebumps and make you want to go tell all the kids what's going on, don't mean it ain't right. See, bottom line is, America is not America because it's lost heart. The only people willing to stand up for anything anymore is people of the world. People that are deceived. They want to feed their flesh. They want to live the perverted lifestyle. They want to do what they want, when they want, because they want to. You say that now, your day will come. But you know what? Thing is heart. People have lost heart. Why has homosexuality grown in popularity and acceptance the way it has? Because they fought for it. 50 years ago, it was despised. It was considered a mental illness just a few years back. Now people are, it's hate speech if you tell people it's abomination of God. It's hate speech to try to tell them what the Bible says. People have lost heart. I see people, I see the youth, I see you, and I weep for a future. I don't see a future because there's no heart. And there's no heart to really make a difference for society. There's no heart. You see what's going to make a difference for you right here, right now. What can I get? What about me? It wasn't so long ago that David found himself on a battlefield. It wasn't his plan. It was not by his design that he should be there. He was simply being obedient to what his father told him to do. But still he found himself in a situation where he saw nobody was willing to stand up for what was right. Nobody was willing to put their life on the line. So he said, I'll do it. He said, I'll do it. He said, but it was interesting what the Bible says. He didn't do it for what he could get out of it. He didn't do it because it was going to make him the big man. He didn't do it because maybe one day I'll be king. The Bible says, he says, I will go and fight so that no one loses heart. See, we're here today standing up against the issues of radical Islam, issues of abortion, issues of homosexuality, because we're hoping that somewhere out there's some young people, there's some older people, that they won't lose heart. They won't forget what America is really about. They won't forget what it was founded on, why we're even here, that they won't lose heart. They'll decide it's time to stand up and do something. I believe a man like David Grisham is that kind of a man. Man that will go and put his neck on the line to do what is right. Whether you like it or you don't like it, he's willing to do it. Thank you.